Right, we're on. Well, thank you, Mr. Martin. I enjoy our writing conferences. I got to ask you, though, what did you think of that movie today? Especially the second part. Did you like the second part a little better?
It was pretty funny.
I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed our reading of the play thing. We're going to be doing a little bit more of that with Shakespeare. Well, today I had you back here because in our writing conference I wanted to cover your independent reading letter. In your April letter, first of all, I want to point out something to you that I think is really obvious. It's nice that we put these in that running document and that you put this new one at the top. I'm noticing something about the length of your letters. Did you notice how many paragraphs you actually crafted in this particular letter? I mean, how many did you have? It looked like you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 full paragraphs. Since the beginning of the year, I think not only are you developing your writing a little bit better, but I'm really appreciating what you're doing with your topic sentences. You're sticking with what you're supposed to be writing about within that paragraph. I have no problem with your opening, but I'd like you to do me a favor. I'd like you to read this first body paragraph aloud to me right here.
Something that I disliked about the book is the plot. The plot seemed really played out and easy. I mean, this is the same plot. This same plot has happened millions of times. Although there are some twists and surprises, the story is easy. The new writer does something differently, which is enjoyable. The old writer steered away from the original story in part 1 and 2. The part that I enjoyed in this book is that they showed the relationship between Arsenal and Green Arrow.
Okay. So your topic sentence, what is this entire paragraph supposed to be about according to this topic sentence?
Something that I disliked about the book.
And I think you do that for majority of it. You tell me about the things that you might not like or appreciate as much. Is there a part in your paragraph that you find that you stray, that you are starting to talk about something that you don't like about the book? What about that last sentence?
That sentence that kind of steered towards away from the main sentence.
And it sounds like you want to maybe start a discussion about some of the things that you enjoyed. Now, it's not so much that. I also noticed that when you give me a teaser statement like right here, you tell me the plot seemed really played out and easy. I mean, the same plot has happened millions of times. And now I'm dying to know,
What's the plot?
What's the plot? I want to know, according to you, what it was that you think is being done again and again and again. You know it. I don't, the reader. So I'd like you to tell me aloud, actually, right now, like what were some of the things that in your mind's eye that this is cliche, that you've heard it again and again? What would that be?
Well, in the comic book, Jason Todd, that's what his name. Jason Todd, he had something bad happen to him, and so he went to get his mind wiped, and when he got his mind wiped, he just didn't want to remember anything about what happened to him recently.
Okay, so you do refer to that, actually. See, now that's interesting to me, because actually you do refer to that in your opening, where you're giving a little bit of that overall plot summary. And here's where I'm impressed, because previously in some of your body paragraphs, you would save some of that retelling for down here, and now you're not doing that. You're actually taking the ideas and each. For instance, what is your second body paragraph mostly about?
The art style in the book.
I like that. And by the way, you said comic book, but what is it really?
A graphic novel.
You are reading a graphic novel in this case. I know that this is a large collection. And then what is this paragraph then about? I notice it's also your biggest paragraph.
One thing that I learned about a character.
All right, and you're talking about the relationship between who, I think, in that paragraph?
Arsenal and Green Arrow.
All right. There are a couple of things I'd love to ask you about. First of all, I'd like you to read this sentence right here to me and then tell me what I marked, starting with Arsenal.
Arsenal hated Green Arrow because he treated them like... He treated them like garbage.
Okay. And do you want to fix that?
Yeah, it should be. He treated
him like garbage, all right? And notice that that's a viable strategy that I always talk about. When I'm sitting at my computer doing the newsletter, even I will sit and I will read my piece aloud just to make sure that nothing slips by me. What about the next sentence? Start with Green Arrow.
Green Arrow went to their island and wanted to talk to Roy, and the island was booby-trapped by him.
All right, there's only, if there was one thing I'd want to change in there, it would be this particular word. Why do you think I circled that word?
Should be
Green Arrow went to their island.
should be Their.
Good. All right, Their in that
Because
case.
it's ownership.
Use this there in a sentence. When would you use that? See if you can make one up.
Let's see. The treasure is over there.
Yeah, precisely. That's how you would use that one. All right, very good. Now, in this paragraph, this is when you also give me your first bit of evidence. And I want to show you where I'm really impressed. I think you did it twice in this paragraph. You gave me two specific examples by quoting the book. I really like what you did with the second one because you're even using ellipses. Tell me, why are you using ellipses? Where you put the dot, dot, dot.
Well, the comic book has dot, dot, dot.
Oh, okay. So you just simply copied it. I was wondering if you were using it as we learned in class. Do you remember why we use ellipses?
It's when
If the quote is too long, what would you do?
you just use those. Use that or like etc.
And you can take out part of the words. Well, here, you fooled me. I thought maybe you were going for something there. But I do want to point out one thing with both of your quotes. I wanted to review the ICE introducing citations that we had learned in class, that technique, the ICE technique, because I'd like to make sure that they're done correctly. There are a couple of errors in here, and I'm going to pause the tape for a while because I'm going to show you the two quotes, and I'd like to see what changes you might want to make. Or maybe we can actually leave it on just for a few more seconds, because let's point out this first one. Let's see, where is it? Okay, start from here. Why don't you read this at the book?
The book states, "You brought me in. I lost my. You brought me in to build you the kind of tech you need to be a hero you want to be."
Okay, you could stop right there, because here's what I'd like to ask you now. I want you to tell me, I want you to see, using this handout, if you could spot some of the errors in that quote, okay? I'm going to pause this just for a second.